The Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is proud to announce the arrival of the 2020 official Balloon Fiesta poster. This year's poster is the third in what was to have been a four-poster series leading up to the 50th Balloon Fiesta. But with this year's 49th event delayed by a year and the poster already printed, the series is expanding to become 5 posters. Dan Killen is the artist for the entire series, which features Wile E. Coyote and the elusive Roadrunner.
The first year, the Roadrunner got away from the Coyote in a balloon. The Coyote did not have a balloon. Last year's posters, the Coyote finally got a balloon and was chasing the Roadrunner. So I needed a situation where the Roadrunner and the Coyote become quick friends. So the Coyote, once again, failing in his attempts, has overdunked himself and has flooded his gondola. He's in trouble, so the Roadrunner is flying in with a towel to save the Coyote.
Killen lives in Southern California and recently made the trip to Albuquerque to put his autograph on his work, thus the mask during our interview. Traditionally, a Roadrunner has been hidden in each of the Balloon Fiesta posters. This year, the idea was expanded to include other hidden and not so hidden items.
And I have different things hidden within the poster that represent state items such as the yucca flower, the state butterfly, and I even have the state toad hidden in some flowers somewhere in the poster, but you're just going to have to find it for yourself. I also have a traditionally hidden Roadrunner somewhere in the poster for people to find.
But there's even more to the poster than meets the eye.
Traditionally, in Warner Brothers Looney Tunes cartoons, the Coyote usually gets blown up somehow by his own doing. So I came up with a balloon design for his balloon. I came up with an explosion design and made it part of the design of the balloon, this flame-like design at the base of the balloon. I gave it the colors of flames, but I also gave it the colors of the Roadrunner, representing the fact that no matter what the Coyote does, he can never quite get away from the Roadrunner. But I also love the idea that we see the blue reflections of other balloons in the Rio Grande and the flooding of the Coyote's gondola, which to me gives it a much more comedic element that the previous 2 posters did not have. Just having all this water flooding out of his gondola, because that's so typical of his character. And I just, at the last minute, added the idea of this trout flying out just to show what a ridiculous situation he himself has put himself in. Oh. And the top part of the balloon, I have what's called a zoetrope, which is an old-style form of animation that they had before moving pictures of the Coyote chasing the Roadrunner. And we're down low to the ground on the beach where you can see footprints of a real Coyote and a real Roadrunner on the beach.
Killen has been creating art his whole life. First noticed for his doodling, he eventually got noticed by some pretty big companies.
I was dared to maybe take my hand in the animation industry in Hollywood. So I studied animation, and I was able to get into DreamWorks Animation and Warner Brothers Animation in Hollywood, and I did that for 8 years. At the same time, I got work for Disney because of my line work doing coloring books and activity books. And finally, with a strong portfolio, I submitted art to the Chuck Jones Gallery, which is licensed to do Looney Tunes characters, among other things, and also the Walt Disney Company. And now I do paintings for both companies. I do paintings for the galleries inside the Disney theme parks, the galleries they have inside the resorts, and I also do paintings and other art projects for the Chuck Jones galleries. I've been very fortunate that I've been able to make a living as an artist with all these wonderful licensed characters I grew up loving, and now here I am doing a professional piece of artwork featuring them.
It's an entire production to prepare the printed poster for delivery to you. They are unboxed, and 600 are designated to be signed by the artist. Once he has signed them, they are hand-numbered and carefully wrapped in tissue, rolled and packed in a tube. The tube is marked with the year, whether the poster is signed or unsigned, and the poster number. Information about the poster series and the artist is included with each poster. It takes a little while and a few people to accomplish this task, and while there are only 600 signed posters, there are 1,200 unsigned posters that get the same hand numbering and rolling treatment. Oh, and let's not forget the smaller versions that are printed on metal. 300 of those have to be signed as well. And the best part for Killen?
I've always loved hot air balloons and blimps and historically Zeppelins. And the lighter than air travel aspect is something that's always attracted to me. I think maybe because I worked in the animation industry for so long, I'm just very attracted to very bright, visual, colorful statements. And to me, those two elements, the personal interest of balloons and color and these cartoon characters, I just jumped at it. It just seemed like a perfect fit for me. But there's something very honorable that I'm just flattered by growing up watching, say, The Coyote and the Roadrunner, and now here I am being asked to do an official poster featuring those characters. And it's just been sort of a dream come true, and there's oftentimes I still don't believe I get to do it.
What does the expansion to 5 posters mean to Killen?
So I'm really excited that a 5th poster has been added to this story I've been telling, because it allows me to bring the story to more of fruition and a more epic ending with a more international flair at the end that I would not have been able to do before.
Demand for the posters, jointly produced by the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta and the Chuck Jones Center for Creativity in California, is high. Get your set today. All 3 posters are now available online from the Balloon Fiesta gift shop.